Son of a beeswax. I didn't want to have to make any patch panels. I should have known better. I mean, this isn't the first time dealing with a rusty vehicle. I'm not going to lie to you, the rust on this thing is actually pretty freaking overwhelming. So I'm going to go ahead. This is all I have to work with right here. And this is plenty. I've actually done this before. This is the piece that I actually had to cut out that was in that corner over there. I'm going to have to do it again on the other side of the vehicle. I'm actually going to make a patch panel from what we have left here. I know it looks crazy, but it actually works. I've done it before. It's not bad. So what I'm going to do first is obviously trace as much as I can. I'm going to use this edge right here. I got it pretty much eyeballed straight as it can be. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be pretty darn good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just mark this all here. So there's a little notch here, but we're just going to... So you see all this is missing over here, but I still have one little section that's still good. So the bottom here, I know it looks crazy and I feel crazy doing this, and I don't really want to be doing this, but you know, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You get into situations where you just don't have a choice, right? So I'm going to go ahead. So all I'm going to do with this is just roll it right over where it was, just to get that for that. See, just roll it right back down. My hand's covering it. So all I did was just roll it over and mark the underside of the piece, because this top piece right here, this piece right here is not from that. It's actually inside right there. But anyway, so that's what I did with that. So I got that there, got that on the edge, roll that back up, pull it down. Let me double check what I got going on here. So that's there. Roll it down. Good. I mean, if we're off a, you know, not a quarter of an inch, you don't want to be in a quarter, you know, 1/16, 1/8 of an inch here or there, it's okay, because you can make it up. So I'm going to do the same thing on the back side. I'm just going to roll it up, and I'm going to get that one line right there, and just kind of right there, roll it up, and just mark it straight right there. Now I'm going to get a piece of tape. You know, it is what it is. This is where we're at. This is how we're doing it. Oh, when you just don't got money like that, this is what you got to do. Yep, cool. Cool. Now I'm gonna whoop, 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 cut that out. Alright, so I got it cut out here. So evidently they used freaking tar back in the 50s to coat the undersides of these vehicles. It looks like rust, but it's actually not rust. It's like tar. I'm just going to leave it. The way I'm going to weld it is actually going to drill a couple holes, plug weld it into place like it was from the factory. And this is a stout piece of metal. This is going to suck to bend. Man, that is tough. I mean, this side I'll get cleaned up best I can, but this is what we're running with. I'm going to go ahead and start bending it. Ah, I'm a dumbass. I bent it the wrong way. Okay, so this is the corner I'm actually working in right here. This has to fit into here because everything overlaps it. So everything slides up into that lip right there. Got to notch out the front there because I put the notch on the wrong side, which is fine, not a big deal. And then I got to put a step on the bottom to hold that there. Now that doesn't look great. I might put a reinforcement plate in there, but this needs to stay there. Surprisingly enough, I know it looks bad, but it's actually still holding my correct position here. So here's another look at what I'm trying to accomplish here. So back in the 50s, it looks like they just overlapped everything. They just put metal down, overlapped it, overlapped more metal, overlapped more metal, overlap, and so on and so forth. So everything is just overlapped on this. It's kind of strange. You know, I don't have any experience with this older style, but as you can see here, this is kind of what I'm going for here. I have to go ahead and trim this right here, like I said, so I can slide it up in more so I can get a better idea of what's going on here. So I've been having a problem with this sticking out right here. So you can see this gap right here. Every time I put it flat against this plate right here, this bracket, which is super rigid and there is no flex to it. So I know that that's a good point to start from. So what's going on is I was looking at the old piece, and if you could see this crease right there in the old piece, it actually tipped it back a little bit, and as you can see, it's sticking out too much. So right along, as you can see here, there's no crease. So right along here, I need to go ahead and tip it back just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna trim that piece up over here, get that corner notched out, get that slid in, clamp it back on. I'll actually put the slightest little pitch in this, and then I'll see where everything sits after that, and everything looks good. I got it clamped on the bottom there. I'll go ahead and mark this down here where I have to do my bend, because this is actually the support for the step that goes right here. So that's pretty crucial right there. So I got to go ahead and I got to figure that out. And man, that is some strong metal. I don't even care if there's any rust on that thing, man. It sat on this car for the last 70 years. I don't think it's going anywhere if we leave a little surface rust on. I mean, I'll get as much as I can off of it and I'll treat it the best I can, but man, is this thing solid. Okay, full disclaimer, guys. I am not a professional body guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I just work with what I got, and I think I do pretty good with it. So, you know, do what I do, don't do what I do. Doesn't matter to me. Wow, so that actually worked out so much better than I thought it would. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go down there and test fit this thing and see how it looks. Alright, so that's about where that's going to go right there. I'm pretty good with that. Yep. Of course, I'll get everything cleaned up, but for the most part, that's where we're at. So I got to go ahead and modify this, and then I can go ahead and get this all patched in. Alright, so I was able to actually get the patch panel to sit in there. I got it all trimmed up. Everything seems to be working really well on it. In order for me to actually make everything work, I had to actually clean out this corner because this guy got all kinds of crap over here, so I'm going to have to do something in there, which is fine. That's all the finished work. I can actually fix that up with a little bit of weld. I did not want to mess with this because, as I said, guys, it's not a full restoration. It's a rat rod. I was actually just going to leave that there. I know this is a bit extensive for just like a rat rod repair, but I mean, it's got to be functional. I mean, this is where you get in the vehicle. This is the step into the vehicle. I mean, you saw what it looked like before. And there it is. That's far from a step. Okay, so this is really just for function. Now I'm going to make another patch panel over here. You know, clean up a little bit of this here and make some better bracing on the bottom. Looks pretty good. I mean, that piece is going to outlast these new pieces, believe it or not. I mean, that metal from the 50s is far, far superior to anything that these patch panels are made of. Okay, so that piece right there, in all its rusted glory, is still going to outlast. I'd put my money on it. This piece, that piece, that piece, all these patch panels that piece will definitely outlast. If you can actually take pieces of the old vehicle, and I actually did it on my Nova, actually. If you can take pieces of the old vehicle and actually make patch panels out of it, that is your best bet. There is not a better metal you can get than the original metal that came on your car. So anyway, so that's that. If you want to see it all welded in and bolted in, and you want to see this whole thing all put back together, just tune into the next video. This one I just wanted to show you guys how to make a patch panel, how I make a patch panel. I mean, there's probably an easier way to do it. There may be a better way to do it. I don't know, but that's how I make patch panels. I'm pretty happy with it. So, like I said, if you want to see this welded in and good to go, just watch out for the next video, guys.